Australia. The Leader of the Opposition.
Mr President, on behalf of the Labor Opposition, I support the motion moved by the Leader of the Government. Our special thanks goes to the Clerks of the Parliament, and in particular to the Clerk of the Parliament, Mr Blunt, whose continued support, guidance and wisdom are not only valued and appreciated by every member of this chamber, but without which we couldn't do our jobs. I'd like to thank all the workers in the Parliament who help us in our duties, the cleaners, the catering staff, the Special Constables, attendants, the IT staff, without whom our iPads and phones would not work, the staff of the library, and in particular, for those who are not in government, its research function, and as well as to the staff of members of the Legislative Council. Pay tribute to the people in the tabling office and everyone who works for the Department of Parliamentary Services. I would like to note the hard work and service of the now former printing office. I recognise the work of Hansard, who make amazing efforts to translate what goes on in this place into readable text to record not only accurately but mostly sensibly the deliberations of this chamber, and any imperfections are ours and not theirs. I thank Morris and his team of attendants who make the place run smoothly and without whom we couldn't do our job. To all members, I wish you well and thank you for your contributions during the year. Mr President, on behalf of this side of the chamber, I thank you. You continue to hold the respect of all Labor members for your firm but fair stewardship of deliberations in this chamber. And our thanks also to your Deputy, the Honourable Trevor Khan, not only in his role as Deputy President, but I think he more often than not is the Chair of the Committee of the Whole and has to maintain order and good humour during those handful of occasions when we have sat late into the night. I thank my Labor colleagues for their support and assistance in my role as Opposition Leader in this place. I thank my Deputy, the Honourable Searle, and our whips, the Honourable Shiket Mosselman and the Honourable Greg Donnelly. Herding cats is a very difficult task, and you do it well. I'd like to thank my shadow ministerial colleagues, Peter Primrose, Penny Sharp, Mick Veitch, and although she's no longer new to the Shadow Cabinet, this time last year Linda Volz was not in the Shadow Cabinet, and I made mention of the fact of her indefatigable pursuit of people in the other chamber, in particular the member for East Hills. She's now switched her attention to the member for Penrith, Mr Ayres. So keep up the good work, Linda. I recognise the work of the Honourable Courtney Hussos, soon, of course, to be a mother again. Congratulations. And the Honourable Daniel Mookie, and of course the Honourable Ernest Wong. Again, I welcome John Graham to our team, and I thank Sophie Kotz, now a member in the other place, for her contribution this year and over the previous years. We will miss you, Sophie. I'd like to thank my friend and my staff member, Rob Allen, who not only keeps me on the straight and narrow, but whom, which of course is an almost impossible task, but who with Luke Maxfield, who works for my deputy, Walt Secord, does a lot of the research and other logistical work, not only underpinning our question time efforts, but our operations in this chamber more generally. And of course, without you two, we would be in a shabby state. My thanks also goes to Trish Marinozzi and all of those who work for the Labor members of this chamber. I was once a Labor staffer in this place, and I know that without the work you do, we couldn't function. It's of course a continuing difficulty in this place, the under-resourcing of the opposition by all governments, but we're lucky on this side of the chamber because our staff are so hard-working and creative and go that extra yard, and their work, the ongoing rebuilding of Labor in this place and in the state, will continue apace, I know. To the crossbench, I'd like to thank you for your courtesy and consideration of issues that we have sought to advance during the course of this year, sometimes successfully, often not. You play an important role in our parliamentary democracy, and I acknowledge that. Like the government leader, I note the loss to this House, the people of the state and his family and friends of Dr John Kay. I know it's hit the Green Party very hard, but we all mourn him. I acknowledge also from the loss of this House from next year, the Honourable Jan Barham, my friend, and I will miss you, and we will miss you. Last year, perhaps a little cheekily, I noted the rise in importance in this place of the National Party. Of course, they've taken a bit of a backward step in the community, but of course, this year I can congratulate the Shooters, Fishers and Farmers Party for their strong showing and likely victory in the Orange by-election. I thank the Leader of the Government for his friendship and good humour, even during those handful of late-night sittings. And I must say, he has managed to maintain his sunny disposition more than in previous years. Perhaps it's the prospect of spending less time here and having more time to pursue new hobbies, at least over the summer break. I thank the Deputy Leader of the Government, the Minister for Ageing, Minister for Disability Services and Multiculturalism, the Honourable John Ajaka, and of course the Minister for Primary Industries and the Minister for Lands and Water, the Honourable Niall Blair. Now, of Minister Blair, I said last year that his training wheels had come off. His ascension to the deputy leadership of his party this week has proven that remark to be true. Now, given the bumpy ride of his new leader and Deputy Premier in the other place, and of course his small electoral margin, I look forward to Minister Blair becoming leader of the Nationals in the near future. And anything we can do to help on this side, we will do it. That's right. That's right. I hope all members will join with me in giving a thought to those workers who will now be working on Christmas Day and Boxing Day. I wish members and workers in this building all the best for Christmas and the New Year as members enter into a long, hot summer. I hope that everyone can have a safe festive season and a happy and productive New Year and return well to 27.